Quack.
Quack. Quack.
Quack. 12 in. Ow! I am your host, Adam Shamail.
And I'm Aaron Schroeder.
That's right. This is the Quack 12
And my video feed is getting all goofy all of a
It's
sudden.
true. Things are getting goofy already on the Quack 12 podcast. And the background of my studio fell down. Things could not
This is
be
what
going
happened.
crazier.
This is what happens when you take too much time off of football, Adam.
Ooh,
Things fall apart a little bit.
Postseason's getting crazy already. That is right. Welcome to the Quack 12 podcast, the most official, unofficial Oregon Ducks sporting podcast in the web footosphere. I don't even know if I said that already. Aaron, playoffs. We talking playoffs.
Good. Let's talk playoffs. I'm ready for it. Tell me what's up. It seems like there's a lot of shakeups going
A
on.
lot of shakeups going on. More shakeups than you can shake a stick at. But first,
Tech seemed to have surprised a lot of people.
oh, there were some prizes. Let me tell you about some surprises going on. But first, even though this may be near the last episode of the Quack 12 podcast, because as you know, if we win the Natty, that's it, baby. That's the finale episode. We out of here. But until that day, we're going on. This is a lifelong commitment. Until the Oregon Ducks win the national championship, the Quack 12 will be here. So why don't you go over to Apple Podcasts, give us 5 stars, leave a comment or review, even if it's I hate this podcast. Helps people find it. We're over on YouTube where you can see our smiling faces. Subscribe to us. Smash that subscribe button. But Aaron,
Now that we're coming to an end.
now that we're coming in, time to join. Or we're never ending. It's one or the other. Aaron, first, let me tell you about some conference championship games, okay?
Please.
Obviously, the Ducks did not play in one. We didn't make it. Due to our one loss to Indiana, we were out.
But I think last week we discussed how the best teams actually aren't in any of them because they're stupid.
I mean, many would say that. Like, for ACC, Miami and Notre Dame, who Notre Dame's kind of got a weird relationship. with
Miami?
ACC. Yeah, Miami, didn't make it, even though
Oh, good.
I think it's very clear they actually are at least one of, but the best, most likely, ACC team. But due to the way they have it structured, I mean, just due to conference wins and stuff, they had a 7-5 Duke team. So they went 7-5, but they only had 2 losses in the ACC, and their losses just equaled to the point where it was like they made it, which was terrible for the conference. They're probably going to fix that in the future, but it made it so their best team didn't make it into that game. And then Virginia instead made it. And Duke, this, team that maybe shouldn't have been there, ends up winning 27-20 in overtime.
Wow, good for Duke.
Yeah, good for Duke. It made it so that the ACC almost didn't get a team in, but they instead just went to Miami, who didn't even play in the game. But they're like, well, you actually are clearly the best team in this, so you're going to make the playoff anyways, which is very funny to me. Notre Dame also, who has a weird relationship. It's like they're not part of the ACC, but a bunch of their schedule is part of the ACC.
Sure.
So they don't even have a championship game they could have played in. They don't make it in, even though they have a 10-2 record. And if we're looking at the other conference game, like SEC, who, there's a bunch of bias. There are always a bunch of football assholes, if you will always be like, the rest of the country don't know college football like the South. The South know college football. Dumb.
Well, I think you could remove the word college and be even more accurate.
The South don't know?
No, the South knows football.
South knows football. South knows football. I mean, does it really, though? In the NFL, what Southern team is really killing it right now? Cowboys are doing
No. It's not about teams that exist down there. It's about building up the personnel that becomes part of winning teams.
This is you can't take the Texas out of the Texas boy, y'all.
I'm just saying, the best players ever to play the game came from Tejas, my friend.
Wow. Even though Texas didn't make the playoffs this year. Georgia played Alabama. This is a rematch. I mean, Georgia-Alabama is always the SEC championship game, seemingly, except for a few random years. And it happened again. Alabama beat Georgia earlier in the season. Alabama is 9-3 entering this game. And a lot of people were like, well, if Alabama loses, should they make it, like, or if they win, they're definitely in, but we'll know. Who knows? Let's see. Georgia humiliated Alabama. Usually Alabama has Georgia's number in this game, but Georgia beat them 28-7. Just completely stopped their offense. They've never been good at running the ball this season anyways, but they were especially bad at running the ball in this game. And even though Alabama was 9-3 going into this game, ended up 9-4 overall because of the loss, they made the champion. They made the playoffs. So Georgia and Bama are in. Honestly, these championship games may go the way of the dodo because they kind of making the playoffs is the important thing. And sometimes, like Miami, they didn't even have to play in the championship game because they didn't make it, and they made the playoffs. It's almost better to not play that game. I mean, we're arguing right now for Oregon. It's kind of better that we didn't play Big Ten championship.
Well, I will say this. I'm of two minds because as far as being a team playing the sport, getting rid of the championships, very smart, clever, should be done. But if you're a college and or ESPN or Fox or in all of that, keeping the championships is the smartest thing you can do because it's an extra game to make a massive profit.
Absolutely. And they did.
So I don't think they're going to go away. We're going to have probably 5 years of people complaining about them and the way they're set up. And then I think ultimately they'll do what I've already said, which is that they should just make these championship games like round one or a wild card round for the playoffs.
It
should just be consumed by the playoffs.
It's very strange. I mean, in theory, it's like if you win this, they're taking, I believe, the top 5 conference champions, the highest 5 rated conference champions. You automatically get in. In theory, it's making sense, but I don't know. They definitely have to rework it. But I'll tell you this: Big 12 championship game. That was another rematch. Number 4 Texas Tech versus number 11 BYU. BYU actually had they were making headlines before this game even because their longtime head coach Kalani Sitake, he was getting wooed by Penn State, who was desperate for a coach, still is, because James Franklin's been fired. Their recruiting class is abysmal. They're in a pretty tough situation. They needed a coach. So they were trying to woo away Kalani Sitake. And they're in BYU's and he even was saying I need BYU to match this number or exceed it. Otherwise I have to go just because we're talking millions of dollars, and BYU is such a strange situation where it was the church elders, the grand leaders, basically, of the Mormon church ended up being talked to and which there's a lot of money if you're talking about tapping into the Mormon church's money, a lot of churches, but that's
oh my God,
dude, that's,
they have a underground bank vault or something.
Yes,
like that.
They do, full of gold. That is not even hyperbole. Yeah. So it's there's a lot to it. And funny enough, a prominent, I believe, member of the church who owns Crumble Cookie. You ever hear Crumble Cookie? You know that?
Never.
It's I kind of like them. there are.
I don't want to.
I'll tell you
I don't want
this.
to brag, but I kind of don't eat processed foods.
So, well, crumble cookie is this. They will deliver 4. It's usually 4. It's like their big thing is like they will deliver cookies to you like right in the morning. Almost whatever city you're in, they have like a crumble waiting for you. Like I could do it. I've had it delivered. My sister did it for us in Eugene, and they deliver like just those kind of cookies where it'll be like, this is a maple waffle cookie inspired by what, we're like, this is Captain Crunch, like really out there kind of cookies, like Voodoo Donut-esque almost. And
this is vanilla fudge ice cream with Butterfinger
for
cookie.
real. This is banana split sundae cookie.
Sure, totally.
And it is a cookie. Like I have a sweet tooth that will ultimately be my demise.
That's called being an American.
Well, what's that Hulk Hogan song? I'm a real American.
I am a real American.
Getting crumble cookie delivered to my door. Because
dude, I mean, the mere fact that you said they bring it to you in the morning is like, that's the most accurate thing I've ever heard for our society.
But I have such
cookies for breakfast.
Yeah, I have such a sweet tooth. They're trying to like get that donut phase,
Yeah.
I have such a sweet tooth, and even I can eat about a quarter of one crumble cookie at a time because it's like you will be running up the walls. There's so much sugar in these things. But anyways, the owner
it sounds
of
reminiscent of the cookie bouquets.
Yeah, it's kind of like that idea they're trying to do. It's better than
it's a cakey cookie. It's like
it's
a
very
fluffy,
cakey, exactly.
Cakey cookie.
It's kind of one of those things. I have this problem with donuts sometimes too, where I'm like, this is cake at this point. I want a donut, or like I want a cookie. Give me a classic chocolate chip cookie.
This conversation is getting very close to, is a hot dog a sandwich?
It's kind of that, yeah. But anyway, I bring this up to be like, the crumble cookie owner was like, you know what? Here's one check. Boom. So Kalani Sitake stays at BYU.
There it is. Okay, that's what we were trying to get to.
That's what I was trying to get to. And so it's Texas Tech, number 4 Texas Tech, who has been writing their own checks. They've been making some headlines even before the season started.
You better believe it.
They were a program who's always been or has had some really high highs, but has had a tougher time sustaining, like especially back when Texas and Oklahoma were in their conference. They had a tough time keeping up with them, understandably so.
100%.
And they're kind of even known more as a basketball school, like, than anything. But this season, I mean, they've been great. They're really well coached. But also, they went into the season being like, we wanted to spend like they had one big booster, especially. It's like, I'm giving you $5 million. Go out there and get some great players in the transfer portal. That $5 million ended up being closer to $10 million by the time. But you can throw $10 million into a football program and still have it suck. They did a really good job of scouting and getting like great additions to their team. So overall, Texas Tech has been, especially, and this is the thing I really like, a lot of teams will be like, who's the best quarterback? I mean, us included a little bit. But they're like, who's the best quarterback? Give him $10 million. Maybe he can save our bad team. They specifically were like,
well, that's the Cal story, right?
I mean, yeah.
His dad made him go to the paycheck, right?
Oh, you're talking about UCLA, I think.
Thank you. Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that is the UCLA story.
Okay.
But
yeah, so Tech
good though, with their money. They did like O-line and like different like secondary and specifically like the defensive line. They're like, that's what we're going to be known as, like defensive line, like rushing that, QB. And they've been...
Well, that's Texas football.
That's Texas. Now that's just Texas. They've been looking freaking great, actually. They're a pretty great team.
I'm stoked about that.
So number 4, Texas Tech, rematch against BYU for the Big 12 championship game. It was, even though BYU, they were 11-1, their one loss was a blowout loss against Texas Tech. that was at Texas Tech, so they were hoping like, okay, this is more of a closer to neutral field. We got our coach. Let's get this. We got our freshman QB, but he's been playing well. Let's do it. And the exact same thing happened. Texas Tech just ran them out of the building, 34-7. Actually knocked them out of the playoffs. They beat them so bad, which is a little ridiculous because it's like they're still they're an 11-2 team that made it to their championship game and lost to the number 4 team in the country twice. Like those are their only 2 losses, but I don't really care. BYU got kicked out. Texas Tech ended up getting the 4th seed, so they got a bye. They were the last bye, and they look pretty mean, pretty mighty. And then the last championship game that we actually care about, besides James Madison winning the Sun Belt, but that's the lower division. They made the playoffs, which is cool as a group of 5. But let's get to the Big Ten championship, baby. So this was truly,
I don't even know who was in it.
2 teams went undefeated. And first of all, listeners, this is what you get with the Quack 12. Every other college football podcast, when they recap games and stuff like that, it is 2 hosts that both have watched the games, both know what's going on, and they say the same opinions back and forth, basically. You know, maybe they differ a little bit. This is the only sports podcast where it is breaking news for one of the co-hosts.
But time out. Don't forget, though, the format of our show has always been you giving me the news.
It's true.
You relay to me. You are my AP wire, if you will.
Yeah, this is the Quack 12.
And
baby.
we are the Quack 12 podcast, the only Pac 12 podcast on the web footosphere.
It's true.
Which means if you don't talk about it, I don't know it.
You don't know it.
And we have not talked about the Big Ten, to my knowledge, maybe but 12% of the entire season, would you say?
Only if a Pac-12 team's playing them. Only if
like, I don't
Pac-12
even
team's
remember
playing
what teams are in the Big Ten.
'em. Well, we are actually we are in the Big Ten, but let's not actually bring that up. So Ohio State and Indiana, both teams went undefeated. They went undefeated in different ways, obviously. Indiana, they beat us. That's their best win thus far before this game. And Ohio State, they were 12-0, absolutely dismantled every single team they played, though it should be said they played a pretty easy schedule. Like Michigan maybe was the best team they played. Texas actually week 1 they won 14-7, but it's Texas and Michigan. So both enter this game undefeated. First play of the game, essentially, Fernando Mendoza, the awesome, possibly Heisman winning quarterback. We don't know yet, but the quarterback, a great quarterback who transferred from Cal into Indiana. He's been playing great. First play of the game, gets hit hard, has to go out of the game for a minute.
Whoa.
Immediately it felt like, oh, well, then they're done. Like everyone was counting number 1 Ohio State as gonna be winning this game. They just have a better roster and such. His younger brother is the backup quarterback. He comes in for one play. And but then immediately after, Fernando's like, nope, I'm going out there. This is the biggest game of my career. I'm not leaving. So he gets back in there. Then a defensive struggle fest. It's not that either offense was especially bad. It was more like both defenses were just really teeing off, playing especially well. I mean, when we played them, they really ran through our O-line for quite a bit. Like that was Dante Moore's toughest game. Mm-hmm. It was a close one. It was back and forth, but that felt like that was really the thing that pushed them over the edge to beat us, is that their D-line, like their pass rush is pretty effective. That was absolutely the case in this. Even their best receiver, Cooper, gets injured and he has to leave. So things are looking pretty rough for Indiana. But they kept it close even in the half. There were two red zone drives that Ohio State, it was like 4th and 1 or something like that, 4th and short, and they get stopped on downs in the red zone. Not only that, but there was a field goal. This is truly it. Indiana was up by 3 late in this game. Ohio State marches all the way down. They get pretty close. They're in the red zone. On 4th down, they go for a pretty reasonable field goal and miss it. They freaking miss it. Indiana.
How far away was it? Do you know offhand?
I can look it up. So offhand, no.
Yeah, you don't have to look it up. Just
it was. I mean, Automaticus Sappington would have nailed it. I can tell you that.
Sure. It was within 40 yards.
Oh, easy. I think it was
okay.
within like 30 yards, to tell you the truth.
Yeah. It was one that everybody should make, basically.
You would hope your scholarship kicker can make this. You would certainly hope it.
You might say it's the Skinamarink of movies. Anybody can make it.
Aaron, we already argued about this off mic. Don't do this. So they miss it, and Indiana is able to win this game. Aaron, I like they hadn't. Indiana was up until this season the losingest program in college football.
Well, that smells really. That smells like we should be doing some investigating.
No, it's truly. This isn't a Michigan situation. They didn't like cheat their way into this. This is their coach, Curt Cignetti, being, as of right now, one of the all-time greatest coaches in college football. Like
Not the greatest, though.
I mean, he'll have to win a natty to truly be considered one of those. But like, this is one of the greatest seasons by like a team and a coach, just because it's like how they beat the winningest program in college football history. First of all, it has been, I think, like 30 years or something like that since they've won a bowl game. They just barely, won enough games to no longer be the losingest program. I think that's like Northwestern or something like that. They also, they're somewhere, I think, in like the 70s of talent, technically on paper, in all of college football this season, whereas Ohio State is somewhere around number 3. Like, it's truly, you can't, it had been like 60 years or something like that since they've won the conference. Like, I don't
like this storyline at all. The storyline sounds like they're supposed to be the heroes, and they're going to take the whole shebang.
They absolutely are the heroes of college football right now. They're number 1 in the country. They get that number 1 seed. A lot of good that did us last year. But yeah, so they beat Ohio State. Real David Goliath kind of situation here. But it's more like David built himself up from being David to being a fellow Goliath. Yeah. So really impressive stuff. Big time win. A lot of fun characters on this Indiana team. Honestly, it's like they're, even though they beat us, they're easy to root for just because it's like they're scrappy and they came from nothing, compared to Ohio State. I'm always ready for Ohio State to lose. So the playoffs have been set. All 12 teams, spoiler alert, we made it. Don't have to worry about that, Aaron. We made the playoffs as the 5th seed, which, as we're going to get into here, many argue is the best spot to be. This is where Ohio State was last year, too. Because the 5th seed, that means, typically you probably didn't have to play your championship game, which, it's great to play a championship game, but that means those are injuries you didn't have to accrue. And wear and tear in general. That means another week that you didn't have to, that you get of healing, which is what we need more than anything. We're pretty freaking beat up, especially at wide receiver. And the supposed downside, quote unquote, is that you have to play that play-in game, right? You don't get that first week bye. But the play-in game gets to be, you get home field advantage. If you're 5 through 8, you get to play at your stadium. And not only that, if you're the 5th seed, you get to play the worst, quote unquote, the worst team in the playoffs, the 12th seed. So the team we will be playing is James Madison University.
No way.
That is right, James Madison University. James Madison University they're interesting. You want to learn a little bit about our foe coming up here?
Yeah, I mean they showed up on my radar 1 or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, a couple of times. Like they played Washington State. That's one of the teams they played. Yeah, they barely beat them, but they were able to beat them. The only power program, if you want to call Wazoo that, but the only power program they played was Louisville, and that was closer than the score indicates, but they lost by like a couple of touchdowns. But other than that, so they're in the Sun Belt. They are they are on our level. They're like FBS. They just came up from FCS, but they had a lot of success at the FCS level. Like they were winning national championships in the FCS. And then as of like pretty recently, they bumped up to FBS. I think it was, let me double check. I think it was like 2022, I want to say. They're called the Dukes, by the way, the James Madison Dukes. And actually, their coach before their current coach was Curt Cignetti, the coach of Indiana. He got hired by Indiana because he did such a good job with James Madison, building them up. And they've actually had like 2 or 3 coaches that have all had success at James Madison. Like it is a good place to play. It's in Virginia, by the way. Bob Chesney is their coach right now, and they're in a weird situation where Bob Chesney has been hired away by UCLA. Like he will be UCLA's coach next year, but he is staying at James Madison to coach them for however long they're in the playoffs.
Sure.
Kind of like something we didn't bring up last week, which I definitely should have, is that our OC and our DC, Tosh Lupoy, our defensive coordinator, is returning to where he played, Cal. He will be Cal football's new coach. And
they got a diamond.
Yes, they did. And then Will Stein, he's returning to his, I know he has history there. He's going to be Kentucky's coach, but both of them are staying on the staff to help us coach. So I'm happy about that. There is always that thing of like, when you got one foot out the door though, it is kind of like, is your brain kind of on your other job right now?
Because I think A, Lanning doesn't run that kind of a ship, and B,
speak right into that
they
mic.
don't seem,
Speak right into that mic, why don't you?
I thought.
Let's go.
And then B, they don't seem like a phone it in. The reason why they're getting these good jobs is because they're not phone in coaches.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, it's like, that's what I'm saying. You're not phoning it in, but it's like, my priority would definitely be at the giant new head coaching job I have, as opposed to, yeah. I think you're right. I don't think there's any real reason to be concerned.
They'll have plenty of time to think about that in 2026 come February.
I think so too. Too. But anyways, back to James Madison here. So they're a very interesting program. They're very good at their level, and I'm glad that the playoffs allow a team like them to make it. That being said, we are heavily favored, especially the fact that we are at home. So their best players, they are mainly, they're pretty dang good on defense. That being said, if we were playing the team that they were playing, we would have way better numbers than them. Like, obviously. Their talent is not on the level of the talent of the teams we've been playing. They're a running team first and foremost. Like, their receivers aren't much to write home about, if we're being real. Like, they're good receivers, but they're no DeCorian Moore or anyone like that. And they're mainly a running team. QB Alonzo Barnett III. He's kind of like Washington quarterback, I would say. Like, he's kind of like, good at scrambling, able to pick up yards when they're easily in front of him. Definitely a running threat. Decent at throwing the ball, not like a world beater, but like really good within the system. Has played for this team for like years and like 4 years or something like that. Very good in the system. Their running back, Wayne Knight. No, not Newman from Seinfeld. A different Wayne Knight. He is small. He is 5'7" and 190 pounds, but is a very good running back. And is their main offensive threat. He can catch the ball. He can run the ball. Those are like their main two offensive weapons. And then their defense is a good unit as a defense, but there's no game changers as far as we're concerned on this team, I would say. We are heavily favored. We are at home.
Yeah.
It would absolutely be a humiliating loss, and it would be a giant freaking win for them. And I will be closing my window because every dog is barking, every alarm is going off in Eugene, Oregon. It may be the apocalypse. This may be our last episode just because
I'm not
world
hearing
will be
it.
over. We think we're good?
Well, your audio's crazy, my video's crazy, bro. This is one of them episodes. Look at this.
So what? Yeah.
Look at this.
I'll be back. You do some filler.
You know what? He's going to do his thing. I'm going to do my thing. Check this. We're going to reset this baddie. Uh-oh. Look behind the scenes. Uh-oh.
Oh, my gosh.
I know.
You
I
broke
know.
it.
Don't worry about it. Everything's fine.
How did you break it?
I didn't break it. I reset it.
Oh, my gosh. So there's really no reason why we shouldn't beat James Madison. It'd be interesting if we didn't, because it would be like the world is ending, essentially. It's kind of what it would feel like, if I'm being real. But yeah, we're favored by like 21 points or something like that. But I'll tell you the rest of the path to the playoff, and this is why a lot of Duck fans are very excited, is because it's like, oh, just like Ohio State last season. Like, this doesn't mean we're going to 100% win, obviously. Like, we still have to beat crazy good teams, like possibly in Ohio State or most likely in Indiana. But it is a really, really good route. Like, I've seen a lot of talking heads that have nothing to do with Oregon say we have possibly the best route to the national championship.
Okay.
Because we're playing James Madison first at home, which is huge, on the 20th, 4:30 p.m. True TV and
Christmas.
TNT, which I hate, and HBO Max, apparently, which is maybe owned by Netflix now, but I digress. So Oregon and James Madison we will play if we were to win that game, which one reason why I'm very excited about that matchup is also because it's like they are first and foremost a running team, and I think that's one of our greatest strengths this season is stopping the run. And if we stop their run, this will be a blowout really quick, and hopefully that means rest for our starters. And if we get rest for our starters in a home field advantage, then it's like, yeah, I'd rather play that game than a bye. I'd actually rather play the game, because then it's like we will be playing Texas Tech. That is right. Texas Tech, who won't have played since their championship game, so they may be a little bit rusty. You know, like sometimes it helps you to not have the bye week, as we've watched like this whole season, you know?
Yeah.
Sometimes that bye week is hurting you more than it's helping you. So we would then play Texas Tech, which that will be a very interesting game. Like I said, Texas Tech has been elite, like one of the best defensive lines, if not the best defensive line in college football. They have an offense that complements it, that at times has won like high scoring games. They have a quarterback, a veteran quarterback who, when he's healthy, has looked really good. Like Texas Tech looking pretty mean. That game would be in the Orange Bowl, Orange Bowl in Florida. And then if we were to beat Texas Tech, we would play Indiana. I mean, it could be, you assume Indiana if Indiana keeps winning. If they don't, all the possibilities, it would be either Oklahoma, who's really good on defense, has no offense. Oklahoma will be playing Alabama. Alabama, who a lot of people are pissed off that they even made the playoffs because they're 9-4. Coach
Tradition.
Yeah, Alabama's gonna get that bias no matter what. Alabama is 9-4. They just lost to Georgia, coached by Kalen DeBoer.
Yeah.
Washington's old coach. So that would be an interesting matchup just because it's like he's had our number. Obviously, we've never beaten Kalen DeBoer, at least when he's played or coached for Washington. And then or Indiana, a rematch against Indiana, which Indiana, yes, they're the darlings. They are a very good team. And they beat us at home. But I do think I think we can beat Indiana. I think if we had a rematch, it's hard to beat a team twice. It'd be close. I could see them beating us again.
Not in our case.
I could see them beating us again, yeah. But I really do think we would beat Indiana. And then after that, I mean, it could be a number of teams. Every other team on the other side of the bracket would be like Texas A&M, Miami made it. That would be very cool to play Coach Cristobal again.
Nah, I could go for never seeing his face again. I don't do cowards, Adam.
Yeah, I don't do cowards. I am a coward. Ole Miss. Tulane's the other Group of 5 program. Nolans. Yeah, I like Tulane in general. I mean, we won't be playing them unless they make a miraculous run.
I used to hang out around the campus. It's good people out there.
Well, there you go. The other teams would be Georgia. Georgia looking really good. Like the teams I'm most actually afraid of, I would say, like if I had to bet my life savings on who's winning the national championship, it's either going to be Georgia or Ohio State. Those two teams are the teams that get the bye weeks on the other side of the bracket, and they would be the teams we would be facing in the national championship, most likely if we make it. So that's what it's looking like in general. I'm pretty happy with our possible route, though. You know, those are tough teams. Those are some real tough teams. I'm very glad to make it.
I feel confident we're going all the way.
Well, I'm glad you bring that up, Aaron, because we've got the bowl bonanza.
But first, a quick commercial break.
Of course. And by commercial break, we mean Aaron's got to go pee.
And we're back on Quack.
Quack, quack. Aaron, as the world's only true Pac-12 podcast on the web photosphere.
Facts.
We're only picking Pac-12 teams that made the bowl games, which, speaking of the conference championship games being kind of the way of the dodo, bowl games are kind of making less and less sense. I'll tell you this, because you look insane. He's muted himself because he's coughing so hard. And it just looks like you were being choked out. It was insane. Anyways, bowl games are kind of going the way of the dodo, because it used to be like I mean, back in the day, it used to be
They were prestige.
Yeah, they were the thing you would hope to make it. And there used to be, I mean, originally there was no championship game. It was just there were some bowl games, and at the end of the year, a bunch of random writers chose one or two teams sometimes that they would call the national champion, and that would be it. And then it would be the top two teams were chosen, and they would play, and that whoever won that, they would be the national champion.
Right.
All the other teams, they won bowl games, and winning that bowl game was like the biggest deal in the world if you won the Citrus Bowl or whatever.
Yeah, 100%. I remember growing up.
Yeah.
Not a sports enthusiast. The concept was it's holidays and college bowl games.
Yes.
Or it's Thanksgiving to Christmas. That's what we're enjoying.
Yeah, which I miss it. But then it became the 4-team playoff. We were in the first one. It was like, well, there's only 4 teams that make it, so all the other bowls, they still mean a whole lot, though they started meaning a little less and a little less, especially because the 2 main bowls or whatever, they would be part of it, and it always felt strange. Now with the 12-team playoff and games like the Rose Bowl being part of it, it's truly like if you don't make the top 12, like you're taking the top 12 teams out of the bowl equation. So already it's losing a little bit of juice. Then you had
the talent pool has gotten
the talent pool already. And so then you're having teams like Notre Dame and BYU being like, or I should specifically say Notre Dame, being like, well, now it's just a freaking letdown to not make the playoffs. It's a letdown to make this bowl game. It's like, I don't even want to be here.
Right.
Like it's, And so like you had teams like Notre Dame. Notre Dame was going to play BYU, I want to say in the Pop-Tart Bowl. I kind of forget. But Notre Dame was invited to play BYU, a very good team, in what would have been a very good matchup, and Notre Dame turned it down. They literally said, like, our players voted, and they said, nah, we're good. A bunch of other teams, a bunch of other teams that got 6 wins or more, they also turned down different bowl games. A lot of them had decent reasons where they're like, our coach just got hired or fired, and we are in desperate situations to trying to get all that, and we literally can't, like, we're too focused on other things. Like
Zoidbergs,
thank you. Like we can't focus on playing a bowl game right now. Which is like, all right. Or you had so many players opting out or transferring out that it's like, we're having a hard time fielding a team. Yeah.
I think
they just mean less. Yeah.
I think personally, because of who I am as a human, my flaws, if you will, I have seen bowl games as being corporate sponsored money grabs for about a decade, I would say.
Yeah.
Like the Cheez-It Mrs. Baird's bread brings it to you Fiesta Bowl.
Yeah, exactly.
What?
Exactly. That's what they should be. This is what college football should be. It should be fun exhibition. But obviously it is a cutthroat money-making organization now. Like
and
literally Utah made a few headlines by going private equity this year and making $500 million. Like it is very possible in the future Saudi Arabia will own much of the Oregon Ducks. You know what I mean? Like,
bro,
you never know. So
the Oregon Ducks brought to you by Israel.
Yeah. Who does?
Darkest time.
And obviously, Aaron and I would support that fully. No, I'm joking. So December 13th. All right, let's move right past what I just said. December 13th.
Yeah.
Boise State will play Washington in the bucked up LA Bowl. I liked it more when it was the Jimmy Kimmel LA Bowl. Personally.
That's right.
Maybe Trump put a stop to that. He's like, no more Jimmy Kimmel Bowl. I have no idea. But
Yeah.
it's the Bucked Up LA Bowl.
What does that mean?
I have no idea what bucked up means. We'll find out when we watch. But it's Boise State, who's 9-4. Overall, I think a lot of Boise State fans would say there was a disappointing season because they looked pretty mediocre for much of it. But they barely were able to make the Mountain West Conference. And as usual, they won the Mountain West Conference game against UNLV. And so, hey, overall, they're 9-4 and won their conference. That's got to be considered a not bad season anyways.
Yeah.
In the what feels like the final season of the Mountain West. I know it'll continue, but it's Boise State's final Mountain West game because they're going into what some people call the Pac-12. Washington, they were 8-4. They won every single game in Seattle except for their last one, in which they lost to their rival. They lost against Ohio State, had a humiliating loss against Wisconsin, lost to someone else, Michigan. So it's like pretty mid-season, as the kids would say. Like they're the best teams they played, they lost against. But they got 8 wins. So pretty interesting here. I really don't know who to choose here. By the way, I think there's like 8 postseason Pac-12 teams, which is actually pretty dang good.
Can I please have the mascots?
Boise State Broncos, the Bucking Broncos. Maybe that'll play out. I mean, this is.
Oh, wait, shit. Are we picking right now?
We're picking, baby. This is a competition. You won the regular season. This is the Bowl Bonanza, though.
I thought, didn't we pick division games last week to go through?
No, we didn't.
Am I cuckoo canana birds?
Because there was no Pac-12 team that made a conference game.
So we didn't do any picks last week.
No pick. You won. Stop fucking rubbing it in.
Oh, that's right, because we had the 5 points.
Yeah,
Thank you.
rate.
Okay,
yeah,
so I am cuckoo canana birds. Okay, please give me. We got the Broncos versus the
Washington State Huskies.
Oh, right, the Huskies. Thank you.
I would hope you know the mascot for the city that you live in.
Washington Huskies.
You going with Washington?
No, I'm going. If I'm going a Bronco versus a dog, and honestly, a dog that actually does have temperament issues. If
not only
trained
that,
correctly,
they say they're the Washington Huskies, but their actual literal mascot is a Malamute.
which is a way cooler animal.
Sure, but not a husky.
Or am I a Bronco?
This is the question, the age-old question.
You know what? Let's give it to the Huskies.
Going with the Huskies.
Let's go home team.
Going with the home team. This is a tough one for me. And I don't know about who's playing, who's not playing in general. If anyone, I think everyone's basically there. Washington, Boise State is definitely ended on a much higher note. I usually hate the momentum talk when people be like, oh, they got more momentum. Sometimes that just means you won your last game. You know what I mean? Doesn't mean anything going into the next game. But they looked pretty freaking good against a pretty good to great UNLV team. Mountain West great, anyways. Washington, they have their one way to beat you, feels like. You know, their quarterback's going to scramble around, find a good receiver. I don't know how Boston's doing, their actual star receiver. They seem to have something in Muhammad, honestly, the running back. The overall health of Washington, they have, it'll be since we played them if they played, so maybe they're getting a little healthier. But I am just going with momentum, and I love picking against the Washington Huskies, so I'm going with the Boise State Broncos.
All right, we got us a game here, folks.
We got us a game. Okay, let's keep it going. Pac-12 teams in the postseason. The next one we have, I'm waiting for Oregon. We're doing a special thing for that. Next thing we have will be the Washington State Cougars versus Utah State. These are two 6-6 teams. Obviously, Wazoo had, first of all, we got to say this. Wazoo will be playing with an interim head coach because their head coach, Jimmy Rogers, got hired away. He will no longer be, which is sad as hell, honestly, after 1 year, gets hired away.
Rodger?
I believe so.
You know, Jimmy Rogers is a world famous. Well, I say world famous. He's like a pioneer in Texas country music from like the 20s. He's like, you might say he's one of the very first like music superstars that ever existed.
I heard about him. Isn't he the first one to rhyme truck with dog?
No, he did bar with car.
Okay. I left the bar in my car.
I just wanted to prod fucking Swifties with that one because that's what she does is rhymes bar with car.
Hey, we don't want the Swifties coming after us, all right? Utah State, I don't know. They beat UTEP. They got demolished by Texas A&M. They beat Air Force. They beat McNeese. Lost to Vanderbilt, who's actually a pretty decent team. Lost to Hawaii, who's a good team. Beat San Jose. Basically, their 6 wins are against some real nobodies. Though they were competitive against a couple pretty dang good. The two Mountain West competitors in the championship game. They lost to Boise State by 1 point. If they would have beaten them, it would have knocked them out of that game. And they lost to UNLV in double overtime. So they were competitive in their conference, though they ended up 6-6. Another team that was competitive in their conference, a conference of 2 teams, was Wazoo, as we know. They lost to Oregon State the first time, 14-7, but then demolished them. They got right and demolished them at the end of the season. They also...
Stupid. It's so stupid.
They also nearly beat Virginia. Virginia, a team that played in the ACC championship game, though they did lose. So they nearly beat them. They lost to them by just 2 points. And they also nearly beat Ole Miss, a playoff team in the SEC. So
but I feel like even that's kind of...
it was on the road, too. Wazoo went to Ole Miss and nearly beat them. So even if it was a fluke, that's 2 flukes. Like, that's something. That almost makes it not fluky. That being said, they went 6-6. So both these teams have had, like, moments where they've really looked good, but definitely not consistently good. This will be at the famous Idaho Potato Bowl. So Utah State may have a bit of an advantage there. That being said, and these 2 teams will both be in the new Pac-12. So that's something too. This could be a future rivalry game. Who knows? Very interesting. I don't know who's going to win this at all. You picked first last time, so allow me to pick first this time.
Sure.
I think the mere fact that I don't know if Utah State lost their coach or anything. I don't think they did. But I think the disarray, I think Utah State's more happy to be here.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to go with them. Possibly just because of the whole Jimmy Rogers thing. But I'm going with Utah State. How about you?
Yeah, ditto.
Okay.
I think you're dead. I think you're dead on the money. I think Washington State's just a bit too cuckoo banana birds right now.
Exactly. They got the crazy eyes right now. Next, these are
which
teams.
Will win you games.
Yeah, sometimes.
Crazy eyes.
This one I love. This is the Sheraton Hawaii Bowl.
Okay, brought to us by a hotel chain. Is that what I'm thinking?
That's right.
Okay.
And Hawaii will have the home field advantage because they will be taking on Cal. I love Hawaii and I love Cal.
I was about to say this is a game. This is a fun one.
Absolutely. I believe their interim head coach will be Rolovich, who was the guy who used to coach at Wazoo before he got fired because he didn't want to mandate that his team get the vaccine in 2020. So there's that whole thing. He is the interim head coach. Also, he used to be the head coach of Hawaii. That's how he got the Wazoo job. So I think that's very interesting. Tosh Lupoi will not be coaching this Cal team. Hawaii, on the other hand, they have been really freaking cool to root for. I believe their head coach, unless I'm wrong, hopefully I'm not, is Timmy Chang, who was Timmy Chang was like an absolute star for the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors. And after they were in the dungeon, basically, they were a really bad team. He came as former Golden Boy and was like, I'm gonna coach this back into relevancy. And the fact that they made a bowl game, they were competitive in the Mountain West. They're 8-4. It's actually a huge winning season for Hawaii, like really big. Cal, their main headline, their main thing that they should hang their hat on is the fact that, first of all, they knocked SMU out of the ACC championship game in one of their final seasons of the game.
Funny. Final games of the season.
Final games of the season. Yeah. No, this isn't the last season for Cal. They also beat Stanford, which is an easy thing to do, but they beat Stanford so bad they got their coach fired. So, and for them, that's a huge rivalry game. That means anything. Everything to them. And not only that, a huge win, the first win for Tosh Lupoi as Cal's head football coach is that he convinced Sanga Polutele, who is Hawaiian, actually. He flew to Hawaii, like so much Hawaii in this game. Amazing. Flew to Hawaii to convince him to stay at Cal. And he did, in fact, stay at Cal, even though I'm sure many teams were ready to pay him big NIL bucks to go over to them, probably including Oregon. But so he will be playing in this game. So a lot of upward momentum for Cal. A lot of, inspiring season for Hawaii, too, and the home field advantage. I think this is going to be a very spirited and competitive game.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the team.
Oh, you're taking two in a row, huh?
You go first. Sorry. Who do you want?
Well, I was going to say how you do seem to weight the tougher choices for me picking first.
It's true. I mean, we've only picked.
You can't have it. I just won't let you win.
We've only picked
here we
two
go.
games
Okay.
so far. Yeah.
I feel Hawaii is at home. Cal's on the road. They've got a weird thing going on. Also, that Mahalo might rub off on them, and there'll be a little, Well, they're already in Los Angeles.
Cal is not in Los Angeles.
I always think they are.
They are in Berkeley, California.
Right. They're right. They're up by the old Stanfords.
Yeah.
Right. I always get that wrong. So that changes it more. I'm going to go home team.
Hawaii.
Give me the Rainbow Warrior.
I'm going with the team I want to win the most, which is Hawaii.
Yeah.
I'm excited to watch this game, though. I am excited.
I'm
very
excited
cool
for you.
Hawaii's like my number 2 team I root for sometimes.
They are fun, right? I just like the whole vibe is good.
Yeah. Rainbow Warriors. Freaking amazing
Amen.
name. They really should change their logo back to it, but I don't even mind their logo now. But let's keep it going, my friend. Bing, bang, boom. Bing, bang, boom. Who the hell is playing? Penn State Clemson. I'm just peppering that in. That's an interesting one, but we're not talking about it.
Beep, bop, boop. Beep, bop.
USC, number 16 USC, who was nearly making the playoffs. If it wasn't for a loss to the Oregon Ducks, thank you, which I was in attendance for. Thank you, Thomas. Versus TCU, Texas Christian University, the Horned Frogs. This is the Valero Alamo Bowl, so I do believe Texas will be having a bit of a home field advantage here. 8-4 TCU. I get a pick first. I believe USC, no one's opting out or anything like that. Maybe they are, but I don't believe so. I have a hard time believing USC won't blow out TCU. I've not been impressed with TCU, quite frankly.
Never have been.
And USC is, I don't know if they're fully getting things together, but they've been more competent than they have in a while, and they have some truly elite pass-catching talent. I'm going with USC. I think it's just going to be a shootout that TCU runs out of energy before they can keep it competitive.
Agreed.
Well, it's been pretty boring so far, our picks. Now,
we've had a difference.
My true number 2 team this season, at least, Arizona State.
Oh.
Plucky-ass Arizona State, which is the only team to beat Texas Tech this season. Though we should note, Texas Tech was out their quarterback, Baron Morton. In that. It was a backup QB, but it was a very competitive game. ASU pulled it out. Only Big 12 team, only team to beat Texas Tech this season. They will be taking on Duke. The very same Duke that is now 8-5, but 8-5 with a championship win. They are the ACC champions, which is hysterical. Duke they were one of those teams that they spent a whole lot of money on their quarterback. Like, that was their main thing. And he got him to a championship game, so and a victory, so worked out a bit. This will be the Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl. I mean, you go first, but you probably know who I'm picking.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go against you. I think I'm going to go Duke. Why not?
You're going Duke. I'll tell you why not. ASU, baby, the Sun Devils. Though we should say, who used to be their star quarterback, Sam Leavitt, he hadn't played for a while, seemingly due to injury, but also has made it known. Like, he didn't show up. Like, they had a big ceremony, like, congratulating all the, like, upperclassmen and stuff like that for ASU, and he didn't even, like, show up. He has been known to be like, I'm hitting that portal. I know I can get more money than ASU's paying me. And he did. He's already in the portal and stuff like that. So they will have their backup QB, who's officially become their starter the last 3 or 4 weeks. Sims, he will be playing. I'm going with ASU purely because I love Kenny Dillingham. Even though their last outing was getting blown out by Arizona. But I just love them. How could I not? Nebraska, 7-5 Nebraska. I'm sure still out Dylan Raiola because that was a pretty serious injury. 7-5 Nebraska, who has fired a whole lot of their staff. Not their head coach, but a lot of the supporting staff due to just,
everybody's doing it.
Unsatisfying results, basically.
Yeah.
They will be taking on number 15 Utah, 10-2. This is the SRS Distribution Las Vegas Bowl. Wow, that's a boring one. That's a boring one. I'm going with Utah. I think they're clearly the better team.
Yeah. Double me down on that one.
That's probably the worst matchup. I mean, who knows? But maybe Utah's like disappointed to not make the playoffs and they'll play a little bit. But I think Kyle Whittingham will have them ready to run through a wall. Maybe his final, I haven't heard any rumors or anything, but maybe his final game. Maybe you go out on a bowl win, 11-2. That's a great season. That'd be a great way to step out, I think.
Yeah.
So interesting. I think we both got Utah's going to win that one. This is a good one. And I believe, this is the final Pac-12 true bowl game we'll be picking. Arizona, number 17 Arizona, 9-3 versus SMU, 8-4.
Zona.
You already picking it.
I don't even know anybody. I don't even need to know nobody.
You don't even need to know nobody. You're going with Arizona Wildcats, who have been honestly a pretty good turnaround story for them. Real good defense. That's what they're mainly going off of. But also, great running back, Noah Fafita. Always fun to watch.
You know what the Wildcat defense is nicknamed?
What?
The Sandy Bullies.
The Sandy Bullies, after Sandra Bullock wearing an Arizona Wildcats sweater in the famous film Speed.
That's right.
Yes. Versus SMU. Now
sucks. Southern Methodist? No thanks.
Do I think a team that lost to Cal can beat Arizona? That's the question. That is the question. We've picked a lot of similar ones.
Yeah, but don't do it. Don't go weirdsies just because of that.
I'm kind of thinking.
Us being linked together, like in agreement, is a good thing.
I guess. I mean, Arizona.
It's a sign of friendship.
Should it? What bowl game was this? This is the Trust and Will Holiday Bowl. Holiday Bowl. That's a big one.
The Trust and Will, brought to you by Murphy's Funeral Home.
Yeah, I know. It's boring. Arizona certainly has more momentum. SMU looked pretty freaking good for chunks until they didn't. I'll have to go with the stronger defense, Arizona. So I'm also picking Arizona.
Amen,
now,
brother.
Aaron, we got Oregon, and I wanted to do something fun here.
Okay.
I want us to pick, because obviously they're most likely gonna beat James Madison. That seems clear. They also will most likely beat. Well, I don't know. I should fully stop there. Who knows? After James Madison, who knows where we're going? We're definitely gonna play Texas Tech. That's for sure. We will play them. So James Madison, and then Texas Tech. After that, truly, who knows? Most likely Indiana, if you just go by seeding, but it could be Oklahoma, could be Alabama. After that, it'll be the national championship game against most likely Ohio State, most likely Georgia, could be anyone else.
Bro, get those words out of your mouth.
Well, here we go. What I'm thinking is, let's do one out of half of 12 is 6, okay?
Okay.
You get 6 points, confidence points, to bet on your pick for Oregon. And your pick will be, where does Oregon make it? Like, where does their season end?
With a national championship win.
So that is automatically your pick, yes. You
pick.
believe they are making it to the national championship. So we're winning. Wait until you give me your confidence points, but you believe they are making it to the national championship. I'll write that right now.
100%.
I'm a pessimist. I think we're doing this program
Don't do this.
till the end of time. Sure, I could say we're winning a natty this year. We're winning it all.
I love that your reasoning for not us winning a national championship is because you are personally cursed.
I mean, is it me or
with doing this?
Or is it? Yeah.
This is your hell, which I find really funny.
The curse is against the Oregon Ducks, all right?
I got you.
By the way, there was I forget who even said it, but I heard a quote from I think it was during one of those Ducks versus them videos or something like that, where Oregon players are fully accepting that they're the villains. There was literally a line where one was like, "We're the villains." And I fucking love that mentality.
I did watch that one. I watched that one. Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. I love it, man. Like,
it was Lanning, I think, said it in one of those, like, we're all in the theater and we're doing a presentation thing, and it's like we're being painted as the villains. We have to accept that.
Let's do it. Exactly. I love it, man.
I swear, I'm pretty sure they listen to this show.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And if they do, members of the football team, why don't you go over to Apple Podcasts, give us 5 stars, leave us a review.
Come on.
Give us a shout out. Come on, baby.
Come on, Dan. Give us a shout out.
You know I'm a pessimist. And in my
give us a halftime shout out.
Invite us on the field. Come on. Let us host one of those Ducks versus them videos. We'll make a good job.
Come on. We nut up. We don't shut up.
Exactly. I don't think we're beating. I mean, I do think we're beating Jameis Madison. We're not losing to them. I think the most pessimist in me, like, I could totally see us beating Indiana.
Yeah.
If the saddest thing would be to lose the national championship. It's happened to me twice in my life. It made me very sad both times. But for me, just in my gut, even though our offensive line is being considered for the Joe Moore Award, which is the best offensive line.
Odd.
Yeah, I think so too. I always think they do poorly in that they just look at results. They don't actually look at the lines a lot of the time. But
well, I mean, if it is just about results, then maybe we do have the best one.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we do get results.
I believe from your home state, Texas Tech.
No shit.
Texas Tech will be our downfall.
I don't see that.
If we lose to Texas Tech, well, obviously you don't. You have us winning the Natty.
Right.
So
that's a fact.
Now 1 through 6, you're gambling. All right. So if you say 6 and you get it wrong, you will receive -6 points in this game.
See. These are chips.
These are chips you're putting in the table.
Sure.
So why don't you think of a number in your head? I got a number in my head. What I think.
But wait, if I have 6 points to give out, can I spread it around?
No, it's just for this Oregon game.
So I could say I'll use 2 of these 6 chips just to get 2 more points.
2 if we win the Natty, -2 if we don't.
Oh, I see. Up to 6.
Up
Because
to
that's
6.
half of 12, and we are the quack 12.
Hey, there you go.
Why not just make it 12?
It's 12 points total because I get 6 and you get 6.
There it is.
Because
we're a unit. We're a team.
Exactly, because we're a unit.
So
I got one in my head. I got my head.
Okay, you want me to go first?
No, we're going to say it at the same time.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
3. What did you say?
6.
I said 3. 6.
Yeah.
You taking your balls and you putting them on the table.
I wouldn't say that particularly.
Are
there women in this room? Because if there are, I'm not doing that.
Women don't listen to this podcast. Men barely listen to this podcast. Yeah.
Hello, boys.
Hello, boys.
Dude, that's a good lovins.
Thank you. I'm trying it.
Yeah.
And now it's time to die. It stinks. Yeah. Why don't you leave
stinks.
Go give us 5 stars in the Apple Podcasts and just leave us a review. It stinks. Quote unquote John Levitt,
The critic.
The critic. Aaron, that's it. Next week,
we did it.
We will have not a Duck game to talk about. We'll have a few bowl games. Who knows? Maybe we'll get some special guests or something like that. But now we play the waiting game.
I wouldn't mind if he is not busy with his holiday shenaniganery. To maybe have Hith try to come on to give us a breakdown of what to expect on our playoff journey to the top.
It'd be interesting. It'd be interesting.
We'll
what
see.
do you think, listeners? Should they hop on?
I will say, now that he charges money to be a guest, it's kind of rude.
It's pretty rude. I mean, last time, $400 for an hour of work. Come on, man.
Yeah, and I heard now he's up to like $7,000, which is like, dude, go get a cameo.
That's his asking price. $7,000.
That's my understanding.
Oh boy, that's really.
If you want to use his algorithm, you're talking. I've heard open market, 100K.
Oh dear Lord. Okay,
Licensing.
So we will be talking to a discount Hitler Day next week. No worries, everyone.
AKA ourselves.
Yeah, which is us, I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'll just be us next week, everyone. That being said, listeners, Merry Christmas
And a happy Hanukkah.
and Happy Kwanzaa.
Uh-huh.
And
What else is there?
Atheists.
Yeah.
I hope you have a good day.
Pagans, enjoy your tree.
Satan worshippers, keep doing what you're doing.
Just do what you do. Oh, and least important, all capitalists, enjoy your present buying and receiving.
Absolutely. Hi, y'all. We'll see you next week. Quack,
Woof.
quack.
Quack, quack!
Quack.